Everybody can join in here 1 second. Do. All right. Awesome. Good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Make sure this is coming through okay.
All right.
I can't hear it. Hold on 1 sec.
Awesome. Good.
Hold on. There we go. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. All right. Well, good. So today we're going to be continuing our conversation, very appropriate for this week, on day trading volatility. So today we're going to be talking about the UVXY versus the SVXY. And then tomorrow is going to be the finale of this series, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about how volatility applies to options, right? And so very, very appropriate this week with your GameStop and stocks like that. So and also with earnings coming up, right? So but anyway, today we're going to talk about these two products here, the UVXY versus the SVXY. And then we'll go from there. So before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right, awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market here today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what they're up to or down to here this evening. And then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX, whoa, what happened today? Down 100 points, $98.85, moving the monthly chart into red status here and back below the upper Bollinger Band. So we lost bullishness here today. Weekly chart, right now we got 2 trading days left in the week, and right now we've got a bearish engulfing candle here. And RSI is pointing down there on the RSI on the weekly chart. And daily chart, okay, so pretty interesting stuff right here. So basically what we're doing is we're still kind of watching this wave count. So let's. I'm going to move this wave 4 down here, right? Why am I doing that? Well, because the initial move, right, was our wave 1 up off of this ABC pullback, right? We've been in a generally impulsive wave up, but this impulsive wave has been made up of a lot of subwaves, right? So what we're seeing here is sort of a larger subwave 1, 2, 3. Right, and then 4 was basically how we started right here, and then essentially it was working on a wave 5. But this move up here is a larger subwave down that started with this wave up, right? So this move right here. So basically we can hold as long as we hold here. Oh, that's already invalidated this one right here. So got a little bit lost in the counts on that one. So I'm gonna have to recount all this whole thing. So this really took out a big levels today. So we lost these geometric lines. And we have this geometric line below. We've got the 50-day moving average. We have this line in the sand right here. So really, this is probably what this was. This was your wave 4. Here's your wave 5 up, and now we're working on a larger wave 4 pullback from this subwave here. So this wave 4 is basically in the works right here. So we got this. Give me 1 second. Let's plop that on there. Here. So that wave 4. Very interesting stuff. Okay, so for this one to hold, right, we have to hold the top of this wave 1 right here, the start of this wave up, for it to continue to work. So we'll see. It's a big area right here. This level right here is the major geometric line, is the major upward trend line, right? It also is finding support here at the cloud at that level. So let's see how that holds going in through whatever's going on here in the market. So interesting upper shadow right here from yesterday, right? We got a breakdown candle here today. So this is the first breakdown here through a bump line. Tomorrow's going to be pretty critical, right? Because if we close below these levels here with increased volume, we may test, what type of speed they get. We've got, this is the macro upper trend line right here. So this is the big one, right? So that's the one all the way since the Corona crash, right? So we're definitely going to be stocking this one going forward, right? So that's the major one here from the bottom, right, to the upside right here. So we definitely want to keep an eye on this one to see how that confirms. In the meantime, it could be working on a bump and run, but we really just need to see it how it goes. Now, interestingly enough, we had some earnings today, right? We had Apple after hours, which had great earnings. Facebook had good earnings. AMD had good earnings the other day. So earnings is not really helping the market right now, right? So what's kind of interesting is really what's going on. There's some theories out there that the market is pushing down here to kind of pull down those GameStop stocks, things like that. But they kept on going today. I mean, today was basically short squeeze, the national short squeeze day. I mean, all these low float stocks that had high short float. just popped today. It was pretty incredible, right? The market was going down and these other stocks are just going up. It was a really, really wild day. Lots of divergences. So, but macro-wise, we still need to keep an eye on the market right here and see how these levels hold. Now, we are holding the top of the pitchfork, so that's a good level here. So we just have to see how it holds and see how this trend line holds too. Again, a push down below today's lows into tomorrow. And if the futures are down here this evening, which it looks like they are so far, right, if we gap down, then we really need to see if they want to do a gap and go to the downside to check this upward trend line. So anyway, good stuff there. So today's price action, pretty interesting, right? A flush right at the open right here on the SPX, right? Then a little bit of a rally back up to the ADMA, and then back down again, and then got back to the ADMA again and just couldn't hold, and then back down again into the Fed today. So one of the things that we note is that a lot of times if the market is super bearish after the Fed, we get follow through the downside. So we'll see if that trend continues into tomorrow. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what's going on here this evening. So again, still continuing to work its way down. So the big thing we want to do this evening is check out our geometric lines and see how they hold through tonight. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to put this one up here. I'm going to activate this trend line, and I'm just going to push it right there and see how this holds going into the evening. So generally, we are still kind of an impulsive channel down, so we need to see if we can hold right here. It looks like they're trying to buy the dip a little bit right here. We had a reversal doji off of an old signal zone. We're back above the ADMA right now, so let's see if they can try to rally this thing up and get over this geometric line right here. But right now, the market just seems a little bit soggy. Right, so we'll definitely monitor that and see how that goes into the rest of the week. Again, we got 2 trading days left in the week, so we can turn that bearish engulfing weekly candle around if they want to. So let's see. So again, MES, same thing. We're going to keep track of those geometric lines. So good stuff there. All right, so good stuff. All right, so this week we've been talking about volatility, and what a better week to talk about it than this week. So again, volatility, we've talked about the definition of it. We've talked about how they calculate it, how they calculate the VIX. Yesterday we talked about the VXX versus the VIX futures, and today we're going to talk about the UVXY versus the SVXY. So what are these two products, right? So these are basically ETFs, but they're leveraged ETFs, right? So what we get with that is these are for like the aggressive traders, right? For the most, actually SVXY not necessarily for aggressive traders. In fact, it's a little bit less, but we'll take a look at that in a second. The UVXY is basically a model of the VIX, just like the VXX was, right? But what we want to see here is the UVXY is actually it used to be a double, right? So they call it the ultra short, right? So it used to be a double of the VIX, but right now it's set to, I think from 2018, I think it's set to a 1.5 multiple of what the VIX is basically on this ETF. So what we can see is we get bigger moves, right? Bigger price fluctuations. So this is tough, right? So it's tough to trade some of these, right? But when they move, and they can really move. So again, but one of the interesting things about the UVXY, right, is that it is a product that in its perspective is actually designed to go to zero. Right, so it's really kind of wild. Look at that during the Corona crash. Whoa, see you on this one. So this was a great product, and what folks really like to do with this one because of that inherent issue. If we go to the monthly chart right here, let's kind of zoom out on this. Oh, let's go to the weekly chart, so it's a little bit easier to see. So let's go out a couple years here on this one. Let's go 10 years out on this. See how far it goes. So it was originally designed to go to zero. Right, so if you look at it, right, it was originally up like really, really super duper high, but folks used to love to short this thing. That was kind of what it was designed to do, and until volatility really started to pick up back after 2017, and that started to get things a little bit wild, right? You started to see really big spikes that were pretty painful. But it's amazing how high it started and just how low it got, and it really is basically just kind of flatlined down here. Pretty amazing stuff when you look at it from where it came from to where it actually is. So in the perspective itself, it's designed to go to zero. So what folks did for a long time, if you can look here back in 2017, folks just shorted this thing all the time. Right? Anytime it spiked, you just short it. Anytime it spiked, you just short it. In fact, folks made ETFs off of this thing, where any spike on it, you can just short it. Any spike, you can just short it. Right? So that was the idea with it. But suddenly here, right, we saw some big spikes, right, that kind of came, early 2018, right, that really kind of crushed a lot of those shorts, right? So it's tough to hold on to those positions, and which makes it really tough to use these products. And now, like you said, it's pretty low right now based on its the way the model of it is. So folks still trade it. You can see volume still comes in on it. So very, very interesting stuff. So it kind of goes with the VIX, but it's leveraged, right? So we need to be cautious with that, especially because folks can get really caught in a lot of these volatility ETFs. So a lot of caution on that. Okay, so let's take a look at the SVXY. So the SVXY is an inverse. right? So this is one that so if folks don't like to short, a lot of folks like to go long, right? So when the market is trending, right? So when we're making nice trending moves on these things, right? It just tends to, you tend to be able to buy the dips on this one a lot, right? Until the volatility really starts to pick up, like the Corona crash, right? So this one just kind of crashed with the market right here. So it's doing is showing the inverse. Now it doesn't go as much. This one moves at a 0.5 ratio, right? So it's not like a double VIX or it doesn't go or even 1-to-1, right? So this is actually a half ratio on this one. So today you can see this one really tanked, right? So folks that like to buy the dip on this one could have potentially just gotten crushed today, and you can see how dangerous that would be, right? Especially if you get assigned and things like that. So margin calls and all that happy stuff. So anyway, really interesting products. I tend to stay away from them. I used to trade them a little bit more back, kind of in 2017, and I really just didn't find it to be really that effective. But some folks have been able to trade them really well, but I think it's helpful for everybody to know about it. So I just wanted to talk about that and kind of the background of it and some of the prospectus of it too. So anyway, always caution, obviously, with any sort of trading, but especially any sort of leveraged ETF. So good stuff there. Anyway, tomorrow we're going to get to the bread and butter of everything. We're going to wrap up now that we've talked about the VIX, the definition of it, and the different products that volatility has. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how they affect options. Okay, so that's kind of the big stuff there. So anyway, guys, good stuff. Hopefully you found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. And we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff there. So Shirley sent a few in here via email, so let's take a look at these. Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at GSX. Okay, so again, guys, a big move on this one, okay? So like I said, a lot of these stocks that have been moving recently, today, I mean, it was like National Short Squeeze Day, right? I don't know what happened. I mean, it's possible for every trader to kind of bounce on these. I think the algos just kind of took advantage of it. They're like, okay, just find anything that had like high short float, that's been rising recently and just rally them up, right? So it's pretty wild stuff on this one. Big dip buy on this one here today. Let's see if GSX can get a move. Triple M, yes, this is one that was mentioned in the group today. This is a tough one, right? It's a heartbreaker. But this one did move today. It got pretty strong. So, big breakout candle on this one. I always say just be cautious with Triple M. It rarely does a breakout. But this is a big one to keep on the radar. See if it gives a little pullback that makes sense on it to see if the dip is viable on that. So it could be interesting. So we'll see how that goes. CLX. Let's take a look here. So CLX with an inside day up, right, gapped over the inside day and gave a big push on that one at the open. It was all about the open today. Very big momentum move on Clorox. Who would have thought on that one? So we'll see how that goes there. Stitch Fix. Again, this has been a wild name too. So again, it had a big move up recently, and then it gave a big push here at the open today, and then it was kind of drifted down for the rest of the day. So a little bit of caution there. And then Triple D, this has been a pretty epic one too recently. Again, a lot of these names just ripped right at the open. I mean, you kind of see it's a trend with everything this morning. It was just ripping at the open. Another one that I saw today was like AAL. I mean, kind of out of nowhere, just like American Airlines just ripped this morning. It's incredible. I mean, just for a huge move up today. I mean, just kind of lots of divergences, so it makes it tough to hold those, but a pretty wild move on that one and a big upper shadow here today. So anyway, so good stuff there. Appreciate the Triple D and good stuff there. ZEK, what's going on? Wow, you got a couple on your radar. Same ones as Shirley. Great minds think alike on those. So hopefully a couple of those chart looks helped a little bit. So space was great today. This is another big mover, but wow, talk about volatility. I mean, the volatility on this one, we'll talk about this more tomorrow when we get into it, but I looked at trading SPCE today, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to spend $7 on an at-the-money option for space. Right, just not going to do it. But this one really rallied for a while too before it just ended up plunging there into the end of the day. So interesting stuff there. Came back down to orbit, right? So Nikola, we did trade this one at the open. This was a good one too. This gave us some good strength here at the open. Gave us a nice push here today too. Also broke out the 15 orb high for a nice move on Nikola too. With some follow through on yesterday's news where we traded a lot of these names. So good stuff there. So nice. Thanks, EK. I really appreciate it. So let's take a look here. You got Neo. Okay, so Neo looks like it's drooping down a little bit after hours. Again, this is kind of on our bearish radar going into today. Why? Well, because we had an upper shadow here off the ADMA, right, and a shooting star candle off of an inside day, right? So a little bit bearish there, and we'll see if it gets any downside follow through going into tomorrow. DKNG, just can't get over this geometric line, can it? Right, upper shadow yesterday, upper shadow today, right? It did give a good push today at the open, right? And then just kind of chopped around for a little bit and then back down with basically the rest of the market once it got under the 8 EMA. So good stuff there. And then Tesla. So Tesla, Earnings after hours today. The premiums have been so high on this one. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. It kind of did its thing, kind of grind around, nice little doji sandwich up intraday today, and that was kind of the big move on it. A little bit of a down move here at the rest of the market. There was better stuff to trade than that. But then we have earnings, right? So, of course, everybody expects Tesla to beat on earnings. So they actually missed on earnings, beat on revenue. I think they had a reasonable conference call. It is what it is. If they had a miss on both earnings and revenue and bad guidance, right, this thing could have really been pushed down like a couple $100. But right now it's hanging in there, right? It's really not that down that far, so it's about the 820 level. So let's see if the premiums, kind of get chopped up a little bit and maybe give us an opportunity to get some better pricing on it when this thing's ready to go again. So good stuff there. So Nitin, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look here. We've got CRM. Yeah, so CRM was on my my bearish radar going into today. It gave a little spike at the close right there, so let's kind of see how it goes. I was kind of thinking it was going to close below the 80 MA today, but ended up not doing that, so it's kind of just chopping around right here. One possibility on this is it's working on a little bit of a bull flag, right? It's got the 50-day moving average to get above. I mean, this thing's still just kind of dealing with its Slack acquisition stuff, right? Which is where we kind of gap down here after earnings. So it's just kind of chopping around over here. One of the things you could do with this as well is just kind of put the range on it, right? So this thing's been pretty range bound for a while. Let's look for a volume breakout here, maybe a pierce of the daily cloud on that for this thing to get going. So good stuff there. AMC, another wild one today. Again, not as epic, in terms of, look at that thing, in terms of intraday trades, but what a gap up today. We have some members that capitalized on that, which is fun. But kind of some choppy action right here. Ended up giving a nice little pop right here once it's inside, 15 up right here over the 15 orb low for a little bit of a pop there. Almost got back to the 15 orb high, but wild moves on AMC. I mean, that's a crazy one there. So good stuff. And then of course Nokia. Nokia is another wild one. So Nokia is a little bit different, right, than a lot of these other ones. This one hasn't really been a, kind of a crazy short squeeze name, but they really bought it up today. I really like the geometric breakout right here. It was brought to our attention by one of our members that was kind of really liking the fundamentals on it and also the 5G space, right, potential on it. So I was like, yeah, let's see if it can get above this geometric level. And then it gapped above it huge. You gave a big candle here, and then it's just a huge move today, just kind of with the rest of them. So pretty cool stuff there. We'll see. Big upper shadow on that one. Let's see if overall it's an old name, right? So it's it's got a chance here to hang in there. Let's see how it goes on that. So good stuff there. Nice, really appreciate it. Sumit, yeah, what's going on? Just paying your props on Nokia. I love it. Good evening. I hope you're doing great. Cloud Guy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Fubo. So Fubo was a good one. This was an overnight idea that we had yesterday. We liked the inside day up. It gave us a nice gap and push right here. We filled the gap right here. It accomplished all of our goals this morning, right? And then it left an upper shadow on that one. So that was a fun one to trade today. That was a good one. So good stuff there. Again, it left you with an upper shadow. So let's see what it does if it gives us any setups going forward. SQ for Square. Again, possible doji sandwich down right now, right? So it was a kind of a breakdown candle yesterday. We got this doji kind of paused there right here. See if it breaks down below the cloud if it wants any more downside tomorrow. Definitely something to stock on the daily chart on that one. SE for C Limited, right? So upper shadow there off the 80 MA today, giving it a little bit of a push down. Again, helpful to watch this stuff on the daily chart, right? To help find day setups. That's why we put our levels on these names, right? So AMD, that's why we put these levels on here. So when you're looking at the day trade chart, it's easier to see the levels, right? But one of the things we had is an inside day, so we gapped below the inside day despite good earnings on it, right? So gave a little push down and then tried to get over the 80 MA, and then once it broke down, it gave you some downside action on that here today as well. But it ended up holding the bottom of the cloud. So let's see how AMD goes going forward. So good stuff there. Laura, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at TDOC. So TDOC, it's kind of its first down day in a while. It really gave a big breakout out of this this bull flag right here, and gave you a pause day and pushed its way up and gave some nice follow through on that for sure. Let's take a look here. Let's see what else I can see on this one. Not too much there. So, but yeah, so good stuff there. See if it goes. A little doji sandwich right here. See if it holds the 80 MA on your daily chart. So good stuff there. And Apple, yeah, earnings tonight on Apple. So I think they crushed on like earnings and revenue. I think they had a reasonable conference call. Things are kind of chopping around, but just again, market makers kind of keeping this thing down here. So see how it goes, where we end up on this thing. But generally, the trend is still up overall. Macro chart on this one here. So let's just kind of keep that going. So love it when it aligns with the 50-day moving average. So see how that holds on that if it does pull all the way back there. So good stuff there, Ron. We just looked at Square, but let's take a look at FSLR. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so FSLR ended up hanging in there today. Good dip buy on this one, on the solar names. Good push here off of this prior resistance level here today and this geometric line. So that was a good move there for FSLR today. Let's see if they can get some upside. Let's even get over the ADMA and try to start trending again. That would be great. So Michael, yeah, AMC, epic. We looked at that a little bit ago. Let's take a look at HPE. HPE, look at Hewlett Packard. Wow, it's the new GameStop. Wow. So they're just having fun with these names today. It was epic short squeeze day, so good stuff there in HPE. Strong move on that one there. Nokia we looked at, and then the VIX, of course. Huge candle on that one today, piercing the daily cloud. Big volume on it. Let's see if it gets any follow through to the upside. It could be interesting right there. So, and then yeah, they're trying to shut down WSP. I think they already did. So pretty wild stuff. So. Good. All right. So let's take a. I mean, he's up like $40 million. I mean, I guess he's probably like whatever. But anyway, so MOS. Let's take a look here. Possible doji sandwich to the downside on MOS. So a little bit of caution there with the gap down today. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. NLS the Nest. Yeah, appreciate it. NLS is another good one here today. It gave a good push, I believe. Because I know what I remember was just trading it here today. Yeah, I gave a great breakout intraday, but struggled with a little bit off of this this resistance level. So once it got there, but it was a big, double inside 15 up over the 15 orb, following the ADMA up. Very, very nice stuff there today. So good stuff there, and of course GoGo, the new GameStop, right? How'd this one do today? Yeah, well, it gave a good push at the open, just like a lot of them, right? Nice little, nice upper shadow right here, and then kind of came back in. Crazy moves after hours, so we'll keep an eye to see if it stabilizes a little bit. Dust, yeah, when the dust settles, right? We got that. Go, wow, dust was actually a big dip buy on this one today, but yeah, that's your gold. So good, the gold miners right there. So look at that, coming right up to the back to the 200-day moving average. See how that goes too going forward. Bob, what's going on? So with Wall Street bets pulled, I guess they don't need to push the market down as much. I know, right? Exactly. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, they're already buying the dip too. We're only down 18 points now. So let's see if we get green tomorrow. So good stuff there. Mike, what's going on? Long time no see. I hope you're doing great. Thoughts on Tilray? Yeah, so actually Tilray was one of the names I was kind of bullish going into tomorrow, but now I'm kind of divergent. I just want to see. This one might give you some dip buys tomorrow if it can hold the ADMA. It did give a big push intraday today. Big spike right here, so I like the volume that came in it here today. Just kind of keep an eye on it for on the dip buy radar going into tomorrow. It could be interesting. And then CCL is actually interesting too. The cruise lines were kind of neat today, so they're looking like they might actually be gearing up for a reversal. I know it's crazy, but they could. So let's keep an eye on those. It looks like it's been channeling down here. 1 second. So it could be actually like kind of a larger kind of bull flag right here, right off of this last move up. So let's even get it back over the ADMA and get out of this daily cloud right here if it's ready to roll. We're ready to float. So good stuff there. Rosalind, what's going on? I hope you're doing great. Yeah, let's take a look at RKT. So RKT with a big spike today off of the inside day up. Very, very nice move on this one today. Right from the bubble report. Great wave count from Paul today. So nice inside day up there. Again, it's been pretty epic here recently. Again, but a big upper shadow right here. So see if it's ready to kind of like maybe pull back and do a little bit of a retrace here off the daily chart. So good stuff there. Plug, let's take a look. So Plug, getting kind of choppy up here. It's actually looking like it might be working on a diamond formation, which is kind of interesting, right? So you kind of sort of have maybe this going on. So see how that goes over the next couple. It looks like it's kind of consolidating here. Look to see if it gives a breakout out of these areas one way or the other on Plug. Take a look at Laser. So Laser, again, good push today, right? Nice push today at the open. In fact, beautiful, right? Look at that beautiful push today, and then it's kind of drifted back down. But beautiful, beautiful move on that here today. Upper shadow here today, but still holding the ADMA on it. So we'll see what that gives us tomorrow. And FSLY, great job on this one today. Incredible stuff. Beautiful, beautiful move. This thing can move when it wants to move. Great 15-hour breakout today, and I guess it can move down too when it wants to. Again, it's pretty funny. One of our members pointed out in FSLY, sometimes it gives these big pushes up and then it just rallies back down. It's kind of a trend for it, but good move on that one there today. Good stuff. I like it. Great job today. What else? So GG, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. You got AMD. Yep, after earnings yesterday. Again, we lost that kind of congestion zone here today, but we're holding the cloud. Again, we're under the 58 moving average, so I'd like to see us get back above there and get back above the cloud for AMD. So good stuff on that. The next EHTH. Let's take a look. Nice push today, but big upper shadow off the 200-day moving average. So again, back below the geometric line, but it did give a little bit of fun, so that's good. And then OTRK. Let's take a look. OTRK Yeah, looking pretty good. Good day yesterday. Again, kind of a pause day here today. Let's see if we can get some relative strength here going in the next couple days if this market can kind of settle down a little bit. Krishna, what's going on? Good to see it. Yeah, GME just epic, $380. This thing's crazy. It hit like a low of 220 after hours. So just what a range today. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild one. I mean, guys, eventually this thing's going to go down. So we'll see how it does it. Let's definitely keep an eye on GameStop here for a little bit. The IDEX, let's take a look. So Ideanomics, yeah. So it's a big push there off the ADMA here today. A little bit of an upper shadow. So see if we can try to get back up into that upper shadow going into tomorrow. XL. Let's see. XL here still below that geometric line, right? So and an upper shadow here off the ADMA too. So watch that for a little bit of weakness on that one. And Mara. So pretty wild stuff there. Just kind of Mara modeling the Bitcoin right now. Still below the ADMA. Right, so just a little bit of caution off of that one too. So actually, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at Fubo. Yeah, so Fubo again was a great one here. Hold on. So it gave us a nice gap up today, filled the gap here today, and left you with an upper shadow off of that one. So a little bit of caution there too. And then Netflix. Let's take a look. Let's see, Netflix again. Netflix really pushed into that gap today. So inside day down. What I love about it, right? So inside day tactics apply. When you gap below an inside day and it comes back and tags, it gives you an upper shadow, right? Like this, right? You gotta watch out. And then it gives you a nice triangle breakdown. Finally lost the 15 orb and then a flush at the closer there. It's an all day holder, but what a move into the gap. Almost to the 50-day moving average on that one. Really incredible stuff. Say, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Hey, Buzzy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, NAKD, this thing was epic today. Huge move. Look at that. I mean, 50 cents to over $1. Incredible stuff on this one today. And then pushing up after hours, guys. It's up to $3.48 after hours at the highs, right? This thing is just wild. It's still ticking around. Amazing stuff right there. Big move on this one today. It's, that could be a hot one going forward. We'll see how that goes. So good stuff there. The next, yeah, NVTA. Let's take a look. Invite, yeah. So possible doji sandwich down, right? So after yesterday's breakdown candle. So keep an eye on that one too. Pat, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at D-Dog. Yeah, so D-Dog breaking down below the ADMA and below the 50-day moving average in the cloud. So a little bit of caution off of D-Dog there. Let's take a look at Chegg. Chegg. So Chegg, yeah, breakdown there off that upper shadow here below the ADMA. So see how it holds on that one. It may come back and retest that prior cup and handle geometric line right here. So something to keep an eye on too. Mookie, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's look at CRSR. So CRSR, again, big push on this one again today. This was an epic move out of that breaker there. Michael Phillips pointed that out to us when it was working. Now it's been kind of just choppy range right now. So try to make an impulsive move up. Let's see how it holds on CRSR if they can try to continue to go. And Fubo, of course, we looked at, right? So pretty incredible stuff there. So see how that goes on that too. Good stuff. Thanks, Mookie. I really appreciate it. B, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Cortez, what's going on? It has been a wild week. I thought volatility was a great topic for this week. So it's good stuff there. So CIOG headlines about Wall Street Bets forum on Reddit appears to be operational again. Okay, well, there you go. So they're back. So SRNE, let's take a look. SRNE, let's see. So wow, big push on Sereno today. Big move on that. Yeah, big push there today. So that could be pretty good. Down a little bit after hours, but see if you can push back above those highs. So good stuff there. Again, wild names here, guys. This is some wild action here today. And Fossil, let's take a look, Michael. Yeah, Fossil. Who would have thought the watch company would be crazy like this too? Is this the right chart? Just pull it up right. Wow, epic moves today. Incredible, guys, on these names. The algos were just having a field day today. Incredible stuff. And then Express, of course. It's just amazing stuff, guys. This stuff is unheard of, really. I mean, a little bit .com bubble-ish, right? But just wild price action. So Cortez WSB is still very active. Okay, cool. So B, J&J, let's take a look. J&J. Let's get this pulled up right here. So yeah, so upper shadow from yesterday and kind of working its way into the gap right here. Big volume on both days on this. So interesting stuff there for sure. And then the XLE, let's take a look. So yeah, XLE again, holding on to the 50-day moving average. So let's see if that can continue to hold there. So good stuff. All right. So what else? So Mustafa, what's going on? Good to see you. ONTX, let's take a look. Keep back GME to the moon. Yeah, so a couple upper shadows here off of the ADMA, again, kind of a penny stock type name, right? So a little bit of caution off of that one. Genus, let's take a look here. Big push here today. Down a little bit after hours. What a candle on this one today. Guys, they were having a blast today, these hours. Incredible stuff. So Cortez, yeah, SWKS. Let's take a look. So SWKS, yeah, nasty close there below the 8-day moving average. But you got earnings coming up, what, tomorrow morning? Yeah, oh no, earnings tomorrow after the close. So yeah, see how they try to do it into earnings. But a nasty down push there before the earnings. So good stuff there. All right, good stuff. Rita, what's going on? Still bullish on Amazon? Yeah, I think overall, right? So if you go to the our Elliott wave count on this one, right? So one of the things that we're looking at on this, right? So we definitely called the lows right here off of this wave E, wave 4, right? So we had that pullback right here. So if you kind of go from there, right, you're kind of looking at this point here that wave 4 is done. So you're assuming that a wave 5 is starting, right? You got to break out of the triangle, of course. But just with this move up right here, we're basically right to the 618. Right, so we got earnings coming up next week. So let's see what it does here. I mean, we could retrace all the way to the bottom of the triangle if it really wanted to. We'll see what kind of move it gets off of earnings. Okay, so I'm not that I would trade into earnings, but I'm just saying just kind of keep an eye on it, see if it gives us some clues after that. So we might have sort of like a wave 1, 2. If we gap up in earnings, that could be the start of a wave 3, and then we'll look to trade it after that. So good stuff there, James. What's going on? Good to see you. YOLO SRNE had a catalyst in COVID, I think. Nice. Yeah, so SRNA again, it's just epic move on that one. Big push right there. Again, biotech name, but a really huge candle there today. So incredible stuff. See if I can get any follow through on that. Love it. So good stuff there. Anki, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, I hope you're doing well too. Good to see you. Yeah, so yeah, let's take a look at Facebook again. We had our earnings after hours. It's kind of chopping around here after hours. So at this point on Facebook, let's see if the premium gets crushed and to see if it still holds the ADMA on that one. Apple again, same thing. It's kind of like they're turning it into applesauce tonight. We're down about 5 points here after hours, but we'll see if they try to buy the dip off of that one. It seems to be kind of stabilizing at about 137, right, which is about right at the ADMA on that one. So see how that holds for Apple. SPC again, just epic here, right? So big push there today. Again, volatility is really high on this name right now, so it's kind of just waiting for the vol to kind of calm down a little bit. But Lulu looks pretty good. This is kind of on the bullish radar. I really like where it bounced here today, right off the 200-day moving average. I like the volume that came in, and I like the hammer on it. See if we get some sort of Morningstar reversal off of it going into tomorrow. It could be interesting. So good stuff there. And then COS. This thing was another one that just got huge action today. Incredible move on this one. So yeah, big push on that one. And down a little bit here after hours, but just a big move. Another crazy one to kind of keep an eye on too. Good stuff there, Kenny. Yeah, so WSB came back GME to the moon. I love it. So I know, just wild stuff. So James, when was the last time that we gap above on SPY and the Dow? I know, incredible stuff. Seahawk, everything was flying green except SPY, Tesla, DKNG, NEO, and XBEV. All your favorite names, right? And GME has really messed up the market. Yeah, it's gotten things a little bit wild here, but things will get back to normal, quote unquote normal again, right? So Numa, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, CRSR. We looked at this one a little bit earlier. Again, had a kind of wild push here today, but big upper shadow here and back below the geometric line. So a little bit of caution off of that one. And VSTN. Whew, VSTN gave a huge candle today. Good gravy. So, and it's still up after hours. So this one's pretty epic right here. So the near-term VXST index, pretty wild stuff there. So yeah, PLTR, that was a good one too. That was an overnight idea that we had last night, and we're like, after its demo day. But they had a good demo day, so it ended up really kind of pushing back over the inside day and gave a nice push here up to these highs. Watch out for your upper shadow there. It's kind of down a little bit after hours, but pretty epic move there today. And CGC, gosh, this was the trade that I missed today. I tried to get a fill here, kind of off of this inside 15 area, and wow, it just kept on going. I was like, oh, well, it moved a little bit, and then it just kept on going today. That was another big one, too. So yeah, pot names are looking pretty interesting going into this week. And then VTS, you still found a big candle on that one, Numa. VTSN? Let's take a look. That was a VTSN. I'm not seeing this one. It's not pulling up. But VSTN's pretty wild. Wild stuff there. So good stuff, guys. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. Oh, it's all good. How about VZ? Oh, VRSN. Okay, there you go. So VRSN, that's fine. Yeah, VeriSign. There you go. Choppy. It looks like it had a real choppy day today, right? So kind of below the ADMA right here. It's been trending down for a while. It's kind of coming into kind of like a general kind of area right here, right, of interest. So let's see if we can get back over the ADMA and start to move, and maybe it'll give a little bit of an earnings run or something like that. So let's see how that goes. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in and for the chart requests and questions. I hope everybody's been enjoying this series on volatility. Tomorrow we're going to get a little bit more into volatility of options. I think you guys are going to like it to wrap up the series. So be sure to stay tuned in for tomorrow night. If you guys are new here, be sure to click subscribe on YouTube. I know, yeah, today felt like a crazy Friday. It did. It sure did, Kenny. It was like Elmo Wednesday or something like that. So, but anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in for all the questions and chart requests. If you're new here, please subscribe on YouTube. Whether you're new here or not, please smash the like button. We always appreciate that. And be sure to hit the notification button so you can see when we post our videos throughout the day. And also, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for the Bubble Report and in the streams. So if you're not a part of the group too, we'll still see you in the public Twitter and here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep videos. So looking forward to seeing you guys then. And until then, stay healthy out there and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can